Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media with myself, Salalo Makudira. Just a quick disclaimer. The next interview was going to contain images that contain graphic material, so viewer discretion is advised. The ongoing protests in Bangladesh against the government's job quota system have escalated into a significant challenge for Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's administration. These protests, primarily led by students, have resulted in clashes, injuries, and tragic deaths. I think there's about 5 people who have lost their lives in these violent clashes already. And these are documented ones. These are the ones that we know about. And in a bit, we'll be speaking to Syed. He's a Bangladesh Students Quota Reform member. And he's going to be giving us insight on these deadly clashes between the security forces and also the students out in Bangladesh. And is joining us via StreamYard audio. Syed, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time. Good afternoon.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are
I
you?
think I'm well. I'm well. Thank you so much. I think first and foremost, if you can start by giving us an overview and what prompted these protests that the students out in Bangladesh have embarked on, and also give us a bit of insight on the current quota system for government jobs in Bangladesh. What does this mean? If you could just unpack it for us as briefly as you can.
Yeah, sure. Uh, this protest actually started back 6 years ago in 2018 when the government introduced a new quota system for government jobs. There are over 4,000 government jobs available in Bangladesh, but there is a quota system for freedom fighters who fighted for Bangladesh back in 1971. There is a 30% reservation for them only, and there is a 10% for women as well, and there are 10% for underprivileged persons. These
Mm,
50% were, just given out to them for government jobs. So basically, what happened was that many students didn't like this and went to protest in 2018. Then the protest was actually really good. There wasn't any clash. But there is a student being called Bangladesh Chhatru League. This was formed by Awami League back in 1947 by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, which is the father of Sheikh Hasina, which is the current president of Bangladesh. Bangladesh Chhatru League clashed with general students who actually protested. So what happened was that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was asked about this quota system 2 days ago. Sheikh Hasina replied that if I don't give it to the freedom fighters, who shall I give it to? Sheikh Hasina
mm,
said that I should only give it to the freedom fighters, not the anti-nationalists. So Sheikh Hasina actually dubbed the whole of Bangladesh, who aren't freedom fighters. She dubbed that we are an anti-nationalist. So what happened was the whole Bangladesh were outraged at this statement. They said that we are not anti-nationalist, we are not anti-nationalist. The next day, what happened was all the university students, all the public university students went to streets to protest out this. And Bangladesh Chhatru League, as I mentioned, Bangladesh Chhatru League consists of university students as well. What happened
mm,
was Bangladesh Chhatru League and the general students who demanded the quota clashed with each other. This all started in Dhaka University, which is the top university in Bangladesh, which is situated in Dhaka itself. Dhaka
mm.
University clashed, over 20 plus injuries happened. No one died that day though. The next day is the brutal day of Bangladesh. Six persons died. The next day, the college students also went to protest. The school students also went to the protest the next day after the PM statement. They were absolutely outraged, and many clashes happened. Six dead. One was dead in Dhaka, which was a college student. Two dead in Chattogram. One dead in Rangpur. That one dead in Rangpur was done by actually police. The police used a shotgun which was unprovoked for, and the whole country became a mess. It got crazier as the day went on. All the cities were protesting one by one, and more clashes, more injuries. Over 4,000 injuries, and 6 people have been dead. And this
mm,
is only by the media reports. I can conclude that over 30 people have died just this day. The media aren't reporting this. The
mm,
government of
mm,
Bangladesh doesn't want to, say it out loud how many people died, because it will, international outrage will come upon. And
mm.
so, yeah, this is the overview.
Yeah, I want to focus a bit on that fact that you mentioned that these protests also happened about 6 years ago, and that they were not as violent, or the scale of violence was not as high as we're seeing right now. What can we attribute, the violence in this year's protests? Is it because of the students, or is it the government trying to send out a strong message to the students to stop protesting, or what's the spark? Why are they so volatile and so violent, unlike in the previous years?
The employment is actually a big issue right now than back in 2018. In 2018, we are actually in a good path, but in 2024, our inflation is almost 10%. The food prices are rising, and the government jobs which are privileged, these are declining. And also, not to mention, there have been many scandals which were done by government job holders. A lot of scandals have came upon. You can search it on Google. Many government government jobs, you know they have done many corruption. These are, going viral across YouTube or Facebook. And this is the reason of why people are being more outraged. They cannot handle, the defamation, the corruption of the government people. They are earning crores of taka, millions of taka by just corrupting. And this has
Mm.
outraged the students. This is why.
Mm, mm. I think one thing that has really stood out for me as I was doing my research and busy reading about this situation is a term that keeps popping up, the term razaka. If you could just maybe explain the significance of this term in the context of these protests,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how it has influenced public perception and also government rhetoric.
Rajakar basically means anti-nationalist. Rajakar was a term formed back in 1971 when the Pakistan forces attacked Dhaka University students. Rajakar
Mm,
basically means helping the opposition. There are many Rajakars who in 1971 helped the forces Pakistani forces then attacked us. The Rajakars actually helped them by giving them information. It basically means imposter, helping the opposition forces.
mm, And this is now the government of the day calling you guys, the students, razakars. Is this correct?
No, no, the government didn't call us Rajakars. The Sheikh Hasina actually said that if I don't give the quotas to freedom fighters, who shall I give it to? Should I give it to Rajakars? The people
Mm,
then, said that indirectly Sheikh Hasina actually called us Rajakars. This is why people have been outraged that we are not Rajakars, saying by this. Yep.
mm. I
I
want us
think
to
it's
touch on. All right.
I think it's
I,
miscommunication on that part.
all
People
right.
have been miscommunicated. Yeah.
All right. I want to touch a bit on the specific demands that the anti-quota protesters and the students are making, and just how feasible do you think these demands are to be met by the government?
Actually, in 2018, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina actually proposed to remove the quota system. But then the court and the Awami League, her own political party, didn't agree with this. Now, 6 years later, the Sheikh Hasina actually agrees the quota system should stay on. Now, the anti-quota protesters are arguing that they remove the 30% freedom fighters quota and 10% women quota. The women themselves don't want this quota because it is hampering their progress. They are saying that women aren't behind boys anymore, they are ahead.
Mm, And just lastly, before I let you go, there's so much happening in Bangladesh right now. Universities are being closed. It's almost looking like the country is being run through martial law. What's the latest that you can give us right now? Have the protests subsided? Has the government
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out to give any kind of feedback when it comes to I don't know, trying to mitigate and trying to look at this quota system and finding a way around it that can please everyone so that the country can go back to some sense of normalcy?
Yeah, the government actually closed off all the schools, all the colleges, and all the universities just, last night. They actually have told strictly upon the university students to leave their campus. They are actually hiring Bangladesh border guard to, openly evacuate all the university students absolutely strictly. They have invited police, they have invited army, and so on. They don't want anyone to stay in universities. The university page you can go on check on Facebook. They have claimed that they won't leave the university campus at any cost. The students have said that they will stay in university halls. The Jahangirnagar University, they have been told to evacuate by 4 p.m., which is now almost. The border guard police have already came. They are very strictly beating up students so that they leave their premises. The
Mm.
Dhaka University, which is the main university of Bangladesh, have been told to evacuate by 6 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time. And the Dhaka University students also have claimed that they won't leave the university at all cost, and they have instructed their own teachers and their own administrative to leave the day off. That the teachers won't stay in their hall for today. They have absolutely closed down Dhaka University, but the Dhaka students don't want to leave their own university. Yeah.
Mm. And the government, have they came out with any kind of statement? The Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has he said anything regarding this issue to try and mitigate it, calling for calm, anything that might resemble the government trying to restore some sense of normalcy, as I mentioned, in the country?
The Prime Minister has absolutely been quiet. She hasn't said anything, but her Awami League people have said, Awami League, leaders have said that they want to sit with the student protesters and discuss about this issue. But the PM hasn't said anything as of yet.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there. So thank you so much for giving us your time and giving us a glimpse
Yeah,
of
sure.
what's currently going on in Bangladesh. I'm sure as the situation continues to unfold, we'll be catching up with you, but we're going to leave it here for now.
Yeah, bye. So,
There you have it there. There was a side from the Bangladeshi Students Quota Reform.
yes.
Hey, I'm seeing something that's sort of a pattern. I'm not sure if you've been following what has been happening in Kenya in the last few weeks. Young people, university students, Gen Zs, picking up arms, revolting against the government. Now in Bangladesh, who knows where else it might happen? Really interesting times we live in. The people, the young people, seem to be taking back their power and, trying to show the government that you are the ones that actually work for us. Our demands will be met. And if Kenya has anything to go by it, then the Prime Minister of Bangladesh should be concerned because the situation is seemingly getting out of hand. We're going to leave it here for now. Keep it tuned to Salam Media as we bring you the latest news and updates from all across the world. But from myself and the rest of the team is goodbye for now.